What is going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and oh my god, this could probably be some of the biggest Call of Duty news we've gotten in months, if not years. So we have some absolutely shocking news about Treyarch's next Call of Duty, the COD cycle coming to an end finally, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and be sure to drop any support that you possibly can over on my Facebook gaming page. We're very close to reaching 1,000 followers over on the page, which has been my goal, and I've been posting a variety of content over there, whether it's extra Call of Duty topics, coverage of other popular games. The link for all of that is down below. But right now, it's about 5 p.m. Central. I am absolutely in shock because today did seem like it was going to be one of those really quiet days for the Call of Duty franchise, not much news, and all of a sudden, the biggest bombshell I think in forever has dropped. So we have Bloomberg reporting on the fact that Call of Duty will not have a release in 2023, meaning Treyarch's next title is being pushed back until 2024, and they're blaming Vanguard for that, claiming that the yearly cycle clearly isn't working out. They have games releasing too often, and apparently that's nothing to do with the Microsoft acquisition, which just so happens to be going through a couple of months before we thought Treyarch's next game was coming out. That deal is supposed to close in June of 2023 before the presumed launch of the next Black Ops in fall of 2023. So this means quite a bit. I mean, we're going to have a juicy podcast this Friday. This is going to lead to probably several videos I'll put together talking about what this could mean for the franchise overall. But let's first get into the fact that they are very confident in Modern Warfare 2, the sequel to what is arguably one of the biggest Call of Duty releases ever. And I'm cool with them being confident in it. I think I was certainly hoping for the next Black Ops to come out and then end the COD cycle right then and there, so the MWII and that Black Ops game could get multiple years of support alongside Warzone 2. I was hoping for that, but they're doing that a little bit sooner than expected. So will Modern Warfare 2 have 12 seasons of content? That's presumably the case. They're claiming they're going to have at least 2 years of content in that game, which is ironic considering Black Ops 4 was originally, I think, the first Call of Duty where they were really trying to go all out with multiple years of support for one game. That obviously didn't work out for a number of reasons. I know Black Ops 3 got 3 years of support, but that didn't stop the COD cycle, so this is massive. I mean, we're going to get more into how this could affect content creation later on in the video, because that's something that I don't think is the priority here at all, but I definitely want to address it considering I'm a COD content creator. So for zombies-only channels, for channels they really focus on Treyarch Call of Duties, this is concerning if Modern Warfare 2 doesn't hit right for a lot of people out there. But before we get into that, let's also get into the fact that it is being confirmed also by Bloomberg that another separate free-to-play Call of Duty release is expected to drop next year, and apparently Treyarch is helping out with that. Now, I'm just going to safely assume that Treyarch's role with that free-to-play game is somewhat massive, and it led to Activision saying, you know what, it doesn't make sense for Treyarch to help out with this game and work on COD 2023 at the same time, so let's push back that next Call of Duty. But what's interesting here is that if Treyarch has involvement in that free-to-play title, could that be somehow that free-to-play Zombies experience that's been rumored for quite some time, right? A Zombies application that features old maps remastered, some new Zombies experiences. Is this going to be Warzone Mobile? Apparently it's not, according to Charlie Intel. They're also doubtful about Zombies. So again, it could be anything, totally subject to change. Maybe people are NDA'd. I really don't know what that game is, but there's also that rumor from, I think it was a year and a half ago, that Sledgehammer was working on a free-to-play Call of Duty experience that featured buildings similar to Fortnite. So is it that? Is that what Sledgehammer's been working on? And could that explain why Vanguard is in a worse state right now than it was at launch? Is not much attention going into Vanguard anymore? I really don't know, but this is crazy. I mean, that also would mean if Sledgehammer were to make another AAA Call of Duty release, then that also wouldn't be a thing until maybe 2025, depending on how Microsoft handles things once they're in charge after next year. Now, here's the thing. Speaking of Microsoft, right, once that deal goes through in presumably June of 2023, could be sooner than that, could be after that, I mean, everything will change with Call of Duty because of that as well. I mean, once Microsoft is calling the shots, I was really expecting them to end the COD COD cycle, maybe incorporate Call of Duty somehow into Game Pass, but they already did mention they're not planning on removing Call of Duty, even future releases, from PlayStation. So that's a good sign, at least, confirmed by Phil Spencer himself. But, I mean, what could that deal possibly change? I mean, at this point, everything's already changing before the deal goes through, so I'm curious what this means for the future of this franchise. Now, what's also really confusing is PlayStation exclusivity, because there was a report last month that the next 3 Call of Duty games at least would still release on PlayStation because of the contract between Sony and Activision. So Microsoft did confirm they were planning on honoring that contract, but even after that said they still wanted to release Call of Duty eventually on PlayStation as well, because to be fair, they'd be getting all the money regardless, right? All the sales would go to Microsoft. Why cut off a big portion of Call of Duty sales that are on PlayStation? Never made any sense. So with all this in mind, I mean, there's 3 games at least planned. We know one of them's MW2, the other one's Treyarch's next Black Ops game, whatever that is. But what's the game after that? I mean, does it really count as Warzone 2 that's also going to be on PlayStation? Totally unclear, but I think today's announcement definitely throws out a lot more questions than answers for our community. Now, on the bright side, Cold War still has quite a bit of content left on deck, according to what has been found by hackers. So Year 2 has really just begun, and we still have yet to see the official release of some of the content. I know the weapon went live early, there's a game mode and Onslaught, but let's just cross our fingers that we could even get a potential Year 3 for Cold War in a way. And I might be getting too ahead of myself here, but just something minor, right? Black Ops 3 proved that it could work. Even when other Call of Duties are releasing, Black Ops 3 proved that they could still drop some little weapons, small remastered maps, events, some cosmetics. Black Ops 3 did it, Cold War can as well, and I think if it doesn't require too much work, Treyarch could probably still drop a good amount of content in that game until the next big thing happens, whether the next big thing is the DMZ Escape from Tarkov mode from MW2, whether it's the free-to-play game, which Treyarch is also working on. We just gotta cross our fingers that for those out there that maybe don't like the Modern Warfare playstyle or Infinity Ward games, there will still be something offered to you around the Call of Duty franchise, so hoping for the best here. Now, if you guys really want to get confused, then here are some new reports that just dropped as I was editing this video. First off, Charlie Intel puts out the statement that Activision is not confirming or denying anything specific from Bloomberg's reports. Activision claims we have an exciting slate of premium and free-to-play Call of Duty experiences for this year, next year, and beyond. Reports of anything otherwise are incorrect. We look forward to sharing more details when the time is right. So again, that's really vague, and maybe they don't want their stock to drop any further if for some reason people really take this news in a negative way. And the thing is, I mean, their statement technically isn't incorrect, even if COD 2023 is delayed, because if a free-to-play title does release in 2023 instead of Treyarch's next Black Ops, then that still kind of coincides with their statement here. But then we also have the scooper, Ralph, who has been posting very specific early information about the second Modern Warfare. He went ahead and said that Modern Warfare 2 was and continues to be developed with a surplus of content by comparison to previous games, though not enough to carry it for 2 years. As a result, COD 2022 will incorporate itself into a live service title further into its life cycle. The Prestige system is also getting remodeled quite drastically. There isn't a particular roadmap for Year 2. Year 2 content will be published in real time. And he puts out other statements as well on his Twitter. I almost don't know what to believe at this point. I'm like, I guess we'll just have to find out the hard way if at some point during MW2's life cycle we get any form of marketing, confirmation on an investor's call, something that kind of gives us a hint as to what Treyarch will have up their sleeves for the foreseeable future. I just hate to be that guy. You know how positive and optimistic I am about Call of Duty overall, even when mistakes happen, right? There's a real respectful way to address them. There's a really honest way to raise attention to developers to say, hey, this isn't working, this is broken, here's what could be done better. But Vanguard dropped the ball so fucking hard. It literally led to Activision canceling the COD cycle. I mean, they talk about the fact that Vanguard really missed the mark, really did not hit the numbers that they always expect Call of Duty to hit. to the point where Call of Duty for the foreseeable future is over for the most part. I mean, yeah, it's only a 1-year delay for the next Treyarch game, but what about after that? I mean, that's how crazy of an impact Vanguard has had on the series. And even to add to that too, with the fact that there's 3 modes currently being supported in Vanguard, and Treyarch has made and is working on 2 of them. How is that possible? It's just incredible to see just the shortcomings that Vanguard really offers. Now, on the bright side, I know you guys are probably thinking, well, isn't this a good thing? Didn't we want future Call of Duty titles to be delayed, considering what happened with Vanguard, what happened with previous titles? Devs need more time to make these games. And I agree with that, but obviously you're gonna hear my bias here. I definitely would have hoped that Treyarch could pump out another Call of Duty before the cut cycle ended, but that's not gonna be the case. So if their next Black Ops doesn't come out until 2024 or whatever their game is, does that guarantee that they'll have the most time in a long time to develop this game in comparison to the time they had to make Cold War, Black Ops 4, games before that? Could they actually come out with their own campaign again? Because they haven't made one since Black Ops 3, which is crazy. It'll be almost 10 years since their last campaign when their next game comes out, which hopefully has a campaign. But I think what I'm also getting at here is Treyarch's next Call of Duty could be their last for a while. I mean, once the acquisition goes through with Microsoft, I think as they confirm themselves, they want a lot of these studios that were under the Activision umbrella to work on games that aren't Call of Duty. They want them to make original IPs, and Treyarch hasn't made an original IP in a long time that hasn't been related to Call of Duty. So I think once their next Call of Duty comes out, that could be it for Treyarch for quite some time. They might still add some support to that game for a couple of years, like with Modern Warfare 2 if that's successful. But I could definitely see Treyarch, Sledgehammer, even Infinity Ward going full force into other games entirely that aren't related to Call of Duty. I think that's what they wanted to do for the past couple of years, but obviously couldn't under the leadership of Bobby Kotick. Now, I'm not gonna lie, as a full-time Call of Duty creator, this is really concerning to me. I am a bit anxious about what's gonna happen. I mean, first off, channels that cover primarily zombies or Treyarch content, I mean, what are they gonna do for the next 2.5 years? That's a tough one. I mean, Treyarch has some involvement in that free-to-play game coming out. Hopefully it's something spicy that everybody could enjoy. And I know the priority of content creators isn't above the priority of developers and need more time to make these games. I really get that, but as a full-time creator myself, I just wanted to address that, yeah, I'm worried. I mean, I do cover everything, whether it's multiplayer, Warzone, zombies, but I've always felt like Treyarch Call of Duties were the best ones to make content on. They offered the best type of DLC, the best marketing, the atmosphere around the community, the hype was always there. I just feel like games from Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer these past few years have kind of been hit or miss for the gaming space, for content creators, for streamers. It really depends who you are, I get that, but I'd be lying to you guys if I told you that I wasn't afraid of what the future is going to hold for Call of Duty, because if Modern Warfare 2 doesn't hit for channels like mine and many other channels you guys probably watch, I mean, this could very well be the end of a lot of Call of Duty channels that you guys may watch full time. I'm going to stick through and, you know, work through these tough times no matter how crazy they get. I can promise you that, but I could definitely see a lot of channels out there stepping away from COD content after this announcement, maybe coming back when Treyarch's next game comes out or whenever a game comes out that they have more interest in. But I just don't know if Modern Warfare 2 is the game to put all your eggs in one basket for. Is that the game that's really going to take off for people to where we're like, all right, we don't need any more Call of Duties after this? I mean, personally, I think MW 2019 and Cold War definitely hit well for everybody in the community who was making content, wanted to do this, wanted to do that. So if anything, it was safe to say, okay, let's end the cycle right here. Let's keep updating MW, Warzone, and Cold War, but obviously it didn't happen. And now that Vanguard flopped, Activision's like, oh yeah, hold up, we really have to make sure that we don't do any more yearly Call of Duties after this. I mean, Microsoft had no involvement in this either, considering they aren't working together yet. They're still independent. The deal hasn't closed. But it's the fact that Charlie Intel even said the financial info that Activision shared to Microsoft was claiming that there was going to be a massive 2023 stream of revenue. So that's definitely out of date now, considering Treyarch's next game isn't dropping in 2023. But what that also says, they were confident not only in MW2 this fall, but in Treyarch's next game as well, which they know are going to sell astronomically better than Vanguard. I mean, night and day difference. So they seem confident in the future Call of Duties they have planned. But I just can't say as a content creator I'm confident in this decision when MW might not be the game this fall. It just might not be it. Now, I think regardless if you're a creator, if you're just a casual Call of Duty player, regardless of who you are in the Call of Duty scene, I think this news, short term at least, isn't very good. It's actually concerning, scary, disappointing, frustrating in every possible aspect. And that's, of course, if your primary focus is Treyarch content. I'll leave it there. But long term, regardless of who you are, this could be one of the best decisions that Activision could have made before they get bought out by Microsoft. And the reason why is because then we can actually have a polished Treyarch Call of Duty for the first time in a couple of years, where they get just enough time, if not more, to polish a game that they really have a solid vision for. But because of higher ups, they haven't been able to execute certain visions over their last few releases. So long term, it could lead to a multi-year supported Treyarch game that we haven't really gotten faithfully, right? Black Ops 3 is an exception, but it's time to actually show what Treyarch is capable of by giving them a game where they're not interrupted or have to pick up the slack for another studio, develop multiple game modes for another studio's game. I mean, I really do hope for the best with Modern Warfare 2, but realistically, Infinity Ward has not had any of the issues that Treyarch has had over the last couple of years, where they've had to clutch up for other people, so they've been able to polish their games properly and put in multiple years of work into them. So I just want to see all studios getting the same treatment here. We just gotta cross our fingers, whether you're just casual fans, whether you're a content creator, whether you're a streamer, just gotta cross your fingers that MW2 hits well, that third game mode, that Escape from Tarkov type thing hits well, Warzone 2 hits well. We just gotta hope for the best with that, and then even if all of that fails, we have this other free-to-play experience which nobody knows anything about right now, which could also maybe pick up the slack if MW2 is lacking in certain departments, and hopefully all of that can keep us waiting until Treyarch's next premium Call of Duty release in 2024. God damn, I mean, the next election will be that year. That's just crazy to say. That's how far we are from whatever that game's gonna be. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'm in a bit of shock. I mean, I think I've went through everything I wanted to for this topic. I will certainly follow up with this in the podcast this Friday, because this is crazy. I mean, it's great news in one area, but pretty concerning news in another. And I think a lot of people out there, especially content creators, probably know how I feel about this. But let me know what you're thinking about the COD cycle officially coming to an end, and the fact that Treyarch is still going to be working on some type of free-to-play game, but the next premium Black Ops ain't coming out anytime soon. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.